Yeah, no, good point, Alex. I mean, we really haven't changed our commodity price assumptions since we started writing on Southern Palladium. Then we used 1,300 platinum, 1,200 palladium, and 7,500 rhodium. And remember, in the last cycle, palladium, I think, got to nearly $3,000 an ounce, rhodium to nearly $30,000 an ounce. So our numbers were well below the previous peaks at the moment, and they have come off. The prices that had rallied strongly have come off. Platinum's now about just over $1,600 an ounce. Palladium, a bit over $1,400 an ounce. Rhodium is now starting to bounce. That's a bit over $8,000 an ounce. To me, I think there's still further upside. We've seen a pullback in the PGMs, seen a pretty major pullback in the gold price, because these metals have rallied really very, very strongly indeed. So a bit of profit taking going on and so on. We did notice that commentary out of the US that palladium, which had been outperforming, may well be outperforming because there's been a threat of further sanctions on Russian palladium because of threats of dump and all that sort of stuff. That's a court case that's going through at the moment. So that's why we think palladium is doing very well. Look, I think for all metals, platinum, palladium and rhodium, there's supply deficits for all metals, particularly the case with platinum, less so for palladium, but fairly big for rhodium as well. So I think while those supply deficits are in place, and while there's still a great deal of talk about internal combustion engines and them being the future rather than EVs, I think everyone got a little bit G'd up on the future for battery-driven electric vehicles. I think the demand for the PGMs is still going to remain quite robust. As we know, it's a mature sector, so if we indeed see growth in demand for the platinum group metals, then we should see ongoing strength. We ran this is spot prices from a couple of weeks ago. We ran our NPVs at spot, and I think that had platinum well over $1,600. As I said, it's pulled back a bit. But for that first option, which is fully integrated, mine, mill, concentrator, our valuation expanded from $5 a share to $7 a share. And option 2, that is without the concentrator, so assuming toll milling, our valuation of about $5.50 goes to over $9 a share. So, this project is certainly very well leveraged to commodity prices. So sooner the better. Let's sure the board has not lost sight on the fact that prices are good, and let's try and get this thing into production as soon as possible. So all looking very encouraging.